Israel Gentry has always been hard to take down.
We knew he was going to blow up into the player he was. And then going into 2019, he was the best player on a really good team. You know, record-wise, the best team Lincoln had ever had.
The best player on a team that had 4 athletes other than Israel Gentry to go on and play football at Division I colleges.
Talent only takes you so far, you know, but attitude has a lot to do with that, and being positive and playing hard. He was the gel that held that team together.
That positive attitude, belief in himself, and determination was instilled in him by his mother, who has loved to watch him play ever since he was a little kid.
Oh, man. So sometimes I'll just call him like a little bumblebee. It's because he'll be way across the field, and he'll see somebody with the ball. He'll run across the field and just tackle them. It was amazement to me.
Israel amazed a lot of people. They began to call him the Rocket because he was so fast. While football came natural for the Rocket, not everything else did. While he always wanted to go to Lincoln College Preparatory Academy, going into his freshman year, he didn't get in.
We had a couple of coaches kind of surround him and help tutor him, and once they tutored him, passed, and he got in, and as a sophomore.
His sophomore year, he also joined the football team, but he didn't immediately join the starting lineup.
We always knew he had potential, but we didn't want to heap a lot of responsibility on him early on. We wanted him to earn it and really get what he had worked for.
While on the field, he had to overcome a sprained foot and a hurt neck.
To where he had to sit down until the doctor released him from his neck.
The classwork at Lincoln was also challenging, to the point where he had to sit out of football.
They set him down for a little bit. He said, "Oh, it don't matter if I'm on the store outing or not. I better get my grades together."
And he did, but he still had the biggest obstacle of his life to overcome.
When Israel went through that transition of trying to get his grades caught up, his father also passed away. So when his father passed away, that kind of, he went into a shell.
But thanks to some of his coaches, that couldn't keep him down either.
Coach Dixon, he actually came over to the house a couple of times. After that conversation, I think Israel realized, you know what, let me get out of my pity party. I know my father ain't here anymore, but let me go ahead and do what I need to do.
And what he did was dominate on the football field. He led Lincoln Prep to an undefeated start of the season while providing some incredible highlights.
We were 8-0, and we were playing Summer Christian, who was also 8-0 and undefeated, and it was a really big game that was hyped up. Scored 2 or 3 touchdowns, had about 200 yards rushing, and he played so hard that game, his uniform got ripped off in the third quarter. We also put him in on defense late in that game, and he had an interception as well.
At that point, Lincoln was on top of the world. Their first playoff game was coming up on Friday. But on Thursday, an unexpected ice and snowstorm hit the Kansas City area.
Lincoln Prep football star Israel Gentry in the hospital tonight after suffering serious injuries in a crash while heading to school.
So many so worried about him right now. He's a star player for Lincoln Prep. His teammates say he's a fighter.
And when I got to the hospital, I was actually the first one in the waiting room, and the chaplain came out, and so I knew it was not good.
Once I seen Israel, they were stating because of the trauma that he may not even make it.
Israel broke his neck, severed his spine, broke his scapula and wrist.
Since he had so much trauma, they wanted to leave him on life support.
As word of the accident spread through KCPS, many made their way to the hospital.
I could not believe the amount of support that we had during that time. Board, I don't know, it was so many people from the school came to pray with us, to where it helped me feel a little secure on a lot of decisions that I was able to make.
And the good thing about Lincoln and KCPS in general, I think you know from working here, it is really a family. You know, that Thursday he got in the car wreck, we had 2 busloads of players and students that went over and visited him and prayed over him the first day he was in the hospital.
One student in particular provided a special encouragement.
James McGee came to me. He actually, he kind of just like softened my heart. Because when he came to me, he was just like, I don't think no mother should have to worry about how they're gonna take care of their son. And he said, I wanna make it a point to make sure Israel has everything they need to function. Here it is, a 16-year-old boy saying, Israel was my friend. He was there for me when nobody else was. And so he made it possible. So through this transition, I didn't have to work. And I was able to focus with caring for him like I really wanted to.
Good job. There you go. Hi, baby. I see you. Good job.
The GoFundMe account raised more than $10,000 to help Ms. Freeman care for Israel at home.
You're cold? Do you want a blanket?
The family was able to purchase a vehicle, an elevator, medications, and equipment to help him stand up.
Yes. Your phone is on your lap.
At home, Israel began his recovery process with family, friends, and coaches. He found his motivation to overcome in the same place he found his stardom.
His nurse had said that the football season was the last thing on his mind before the accident. And so she said they would play his football clips and his videos, and that would really motivate him to keep going. And remembering his teammates, she would ask him, that would help the memorization, asking about his teammates, asking about his coaches. And he just had such a strong spirit. We knew he was going to get better. It was just taking a gradual process. And then once he got to the point where he could get back into homebound school, I mean, then started talking about what he had to do to graduate, when there was no stopping him at that point.
That help to graduate came from KCPS staff.
When the teacher came in to assist, oh man, it was just like a burden lift, because now we're all able to tag team on Israel's schooling.
All of those efforts led to this unforgettable moment at graduation.
Yeah, I was really happy just for his mother. So I didn't want her to lose the moment of seeing her son go across the stage by pushing him. And so it meant a lot to me to be able to help Israel get across that stage so that his mother could be like all the other mothers and see her son go across the stage.
Israel, Rocket, Gentry.
I think because Coach Lowe has taken Israel up under his wings, especially when Israel's father died, like I said, that was a challenge for Israel. To see Coach Lowe walk Israel across that stage, it brought so much joy to say, hey, they accomplished something together.
It was like, I called my name, went down to get my diploma, my certificate. There was so many people clapping for me. I was like, whoa. There was a lot of people clapping for me. I had fun. Me and Colo, we smiled, got the diploma, it kept on going.
What did it mean for you to have Coach Lowe be there to put you across the stage?
Man, everything. Well, yeah, Coach Lowe helped me go across the stage. It meant a lot. God, he got a lot of support and respect for me, making sure his athlete go across the stage. And he'll tell you the same thing. The star athlete, I don't know if he'll say I'm his favorite, but I know I'm his favorite.
What you went through is a lot of adversity, and some of that stuff would just crush some people's spirits.
Yeah.
But listening to you, that's not what happened. Huh?
No, can't have my spirit crushed. I got to keep my head up high, keep on going forward.
So where do you get that strength from?
I mean, I really can't say it like, it's not really, I mean, it's kind of family, but most, I really get from God, but family and friends is the support they all support me, so I gotta keep my head held high. I gotta take care of my business. Just like my mama taught me when I was young, she said, make sure you take care of your business. And I did. Kept my head held high. I'm gonna take care of my business.
And that's the message Israel, his mom, and Coach Lowe has for KCPS this school year. Take care of your business. Rise above. Don't give up. Your work matters.
Just make sure you all stay focused and keep on working. You can have fun too, but make sure you're late, get your work done first. Before you play, you gotta work.
There are tough times, you know, and it's easy sometimes to dwell on the negatives. And Israel's spirit just showed me there's so much positivity out there, and that if you look at everything with a positive aspect, it makes everything else so much better, you know, and it makes everything else so much easier to get through.
Well, don't give up. Understand that there is going to be new things that come. And because the new, you can't be fearful. For my new experience, learning how to take care of Israel, I just had to get in there and roll with the punches. I'm in there watching what the nurses are doing. I'm eyeing them. And so to encourage the teachers, don't give up. Even if it's this new experience, because people like us need them. I definitely needed them during this transition of the pandemic. Keep teaching us, because as parents, we want to learn also how to be educators. You know, they do say that education starts at home, and I do agree with that. It does. And we can pair up together. You have parents like me who are willing to pair up with the teachers, because I need y'all help. Now, I can't speak for every parent, but for me, homeschooling my children, being able to have them side by side, and now I'm finally listening. Now I understand what the teacher was saying when they were in the classroom. Like, now, listen, they haven't been lying all this time. So it made me want to build a better relationship with the teachers. And that's what I did this year. Mm-hmm. The job that y'all do is never unnoted. Regardless how challenging a parent may try to be upset about the way their kid is acting or anything like that, just be patient with the parent or the children, and understand that what they're doing, it is for a purpose. It really is. It helped us through the trend. We couldn't have did it without them. So I thank you. I thank you. I put my hats off to y'all. I thank y'all for the patience, because like I said, it was a challenge.
Let's rise above. Keep your head up and rise above. Make sure you take care of your work. So rise above.